Hello and welcome to the Daily Bible Podcast. My name is William Hemsworth and thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. I apologize for a little Optimus Prime sounding bit there at the beginning. For whatever reason, the internet reception that I have kind of faded out for a second, and I record the show live, so unfortunately those are some of the hazards that we have to go through every once in a while to do a live show. But here we are. Today we're continuing on in Matthew chapter 11. We're looking at Matthew chapter 11 verses 4 through 6. And in the previous verses, the disciples of John the Baptist come to Jesus and ask if he's the Messiah or if they should wait for another. And today we're going to read Jesus' response. So here we go. Matthew chapter 11 verses 4 through 6 say, Jesus answered them, "Go and tell John what you hear and see. The blind receive their sight, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, and the poor have good news brought to them. And blessed is anyone who takes no offense at me." So Jesus answers the disciples of John the Baptist with, "Look, this is everything that I've done. Take note of it. Go back and tell John what you've seen me do." Now this is very important because Jesus' miracles are an answer to prophecy in the book of Isaiah, and they link him with the agent of God's healing. And we see that in Isaiah 26:19, Isaiah 29:18, Isaiah 35 4 through 6, and Isaiah 61 verses 1 through 2. So it's very important that Jesus says this. He's linking himself with the messianic prophecies in Isaiah. And he's telling John's disciples to go back and tell John what he's seen, because John knows those scriptures very well. As you may recall in our earlier episodes when we discussed John the Baptist at the baptism of Christ, John the Baptist was a Levite. His father was a priest in the temple. Levite men were trained to be priests. They had the whole Old Testament memorized. What a great feat. John would know exactly what Christ was talking about here. This wasn't a way of Jesus getting around the answer. This was Jesus directly answering this question that John the Baptist's disciples had. This was a very direct answer of Christ, even though in our terms today it may seem like he was trying to get around it. This was as direct as Christ could get. So what about us today? Sometimes, like John the Baptist, sometimes we doubt. We may doubt that we're forgiven because maybe we've done something so bad. But let's look at God's work in our life. Let's look at the evidence in Scripture and the changes that have overtaken our lives because of Christ. There's going to be times that we doubt. Doubt is okay. It means we're questioning. It helps us grow. But when we doubt, let's not turn away from Christ like John the Baptist. Let's look to Christ. Well, God bless you. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Daily Bible Podcast. Join me tomorrow. We'll continue on in Matthew chapter 11. God bless you. Have a great day.